Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Ernie C, and I am here for episode 151 of the Keep Grinding the Podcast. This is something different. This is going to be a podcast, a wrestling podcast with my guy, Arnold Cueto. This is going to be wrestling, putting over wrestling that we love. This is Doing the job. There you go. Perfect. What's up, bro?
What's going on?
How you doing, sir?
Good to see you.
I'm glad we're doing this again.
For sure. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I think the last time we did a podcast is right before the Vince exit.
Man,
it's been a while.
Yeah.
That's when we were still watching AEW and religiously at your house.
Yeah.
Did you watch AEW this week?
I have, man. It's I don't want to be negative. I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, the IWC is very passionate, but we're very fickle. So I don't want to I don't want to be that guy that complains about everything, but like. AEW's been a struggle, man. Like just to get through it. Like I try to watch the episodes, and I find myself like, man, okay, Moxie, here comes the Death Riders. Moxie's gonna go.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of keep up with the highlights, and that's just like a YouTube highlight, and that's it. And I have not watched a full episode in months.
It's just the.
Go ahead. Keep going.
I'm sorry. The idea of the show right now is just there's a lot of interesting side characters. The whole MJF and what he's doing with the Hurt Business, that's decent.
That's very entertaining.
You have your guys that they're shining no matter what. Your Ospreys, your Swerves, guys like that. But what's really like the centerpiece and that's kind of overshadowing the rest of the product right now is what they're doing from the top with the championship and the whole Death Rider story. And you got the idea of Moxley and you build up all these guys and it's kind of a flat run and it's kind of I equate it to like when WCW was kind of at their peak and Hogan's running through everybody and you kept feeding them one WCW hero versus the other and that kind of thing and he would just go through everybody but on the shelf you knew Sting was there so you knew something was going to happen. Right now we don't have that kind of like okay where's the story going to hit where's the what do they call it the payback in the
definitely
in this and
just the arc of it the climax where's it going to be at
correct
and, I don't see that either which is kind of like again I think with the Doing the Job podcast I think we're here to do the job we're here to put the stuff that we love to put over so I think when we find something we love with AEW Toni Storm is my favorite AEW character right now the way that she's doing her work is just man.
That gimmick just won so many people over with.
Yeah, dude, she's won me over. Like the way her vocabulary, her even having Luther in the background, kind of feeding off of her. It's really I enjoy her character. I think it's a hit. That's probably my highlight of AEW right now. To be honest with you,
they're playing well off into that. Like I said, the undercard's really where the stories are at, and I'm just interested to see where everything goes. That women's division is becoming very solid. I think they took a couple of people in that division that you probably wouldn't think about, 2-3 years ago. The Anna Jays,
They just lost Mariah May to NXT last night. I seen that.
She's Blake Monroe now.
Blake Monroe, yeah, I just seen that too. I guess we kind of dibble dabble for like 5 minutes about we have a new TNA champion in NXT. Who would have thought that would have occurred a couple years ago?
Man, that's I think we had the discussion. I think when we were last doing the podcast about the possibilities and the forbidden doors and all this kind of stuff, and
definitely.
now you're really seeing the other side of that now. You're like, man, anything really can happen now.
Triple H just came in. We have Vikingo going against Chad Gable in a great match.
Man, what a match.
We had Rey Mysterio coming in. We have Dominique going against Pentagon. We'll talk about later on in Money in the Bank. The doors are open on both sides, and I think it's very healthy for the business. And I think overall the business is healthy no matter what's going on. And I think that's why it's really important that we're doing the job. We're putting it over. And let's start with Smackdown. It was on June 6th, I believe, was Smackdown. June 6th. It was a card here in Bakersfield, California.
Don't pretend like you didn't know what was going on.
Which was, man, I had no idea I was going to get that close. So my wife got me some tickets for my dad's friend, and he's like, hey, I got this VIP ticket, and had no idea what that entailed, and that was a pretty dope experience. To be in the shit was really cool. It was really nice.
It was the first of their shows that I didn't go to in probably 3 years. And It's one of those things I watch, like, man, I really forget like how much they actually try to put over the city, like when you watch it on TV.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
they talk about the town a little bit and that kind of thing. So it's like they really try to make Bakersfield into this like wrestling town or whatever.
And it might be, you know what? And it was pretty cool. If you really looked at, I think it was I forgot what promo it was. There was a poster in the back with Greg. I'm gonna have Greg Gagne, but maybe Vern Gagne, a couple old school wrestlers. I don't know if that was from like Strongbow Stadium or not, but there was a wrestling poster in the background there with some big names, and maybe that was
I
Strongbow
want to say
Stadium.
there was a High Chief Peter Maivia poster in the background at one point too.
Man, there was some history there.
Yeah.
There was some history with the field. It was nice to have a packed house. We've had a few packed houses with AEW and WWE, so I'm sure. I know they're trying to. I think they're cutting down house shows and whatnot. From what I hear, again, we're not in it, but just from what we hear from these reports, I hope we're not one of the chopping blocks on that house show run for sure.
Even then, I think the last couple of shows that we've had were more. We've had we had a Raw now. We've had a Smack. We've had a couple of
Oh,
Smackdowns.
we had an NXT pay per view.
Yeah,
that was
So
nice.
I think I think from their perspective, we present well because the the Dignity Health Center isn't so much this big giant stadium, but at the same time, it's also super packed when you watch it on TV, and it's really filled out. It was one of the things I was kind of when watching Money in the Bank, I was like, man, there's a lot of empty chairs there, but obviously LA was having their problems. So.
And there's definitely at that time, man. The Intuit Dome too, though, right? That's not no Dignity Health Center. That's a big time arena upgrade. But those tickets too, man. These tickets are not as I guess. Yeah, they're not frugal anymore. You have to have. You gotta break the bank seeing these shows.
You want to see the product go kind of mainstream a little bit, but then you forget the price that comes with it. So.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go from against Smackdown Bakersfield. Do you want to go? What's two things that you really loved, and we can talk about those, and I'll go over two things that I really loved, and we'll do a love. We won't do a love hate thing. We got enough of that IWC hate crap. We'll just do straight. What did we enjoy from Smackdown on June 6th?
We can go to a few things. The Penta Chad Gables, or sorry, not Penta. I shouldn't say Penta. I should say Lucha in general. And the Chad Gables story continues to just kind of like, it sleeps on you. But every time you see it, you're entertained. You're liking it. That kind of thing. It's very well done.
Penta has become the star that we knew he always was.
For sure.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And we when was Lucha Underground? Maybe 2015, 2016, maybe before then.
Yeah.
And see what Penta's become in a mere 4 or 5 months with WWE. Awesome to see, bro.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like him and Andrade versus Alpha American Made was definitely a highlight of that night.
I'm loving the fact that those Andrade's kind of been floundering on the side there for a bit. He's finally getting his chance to shine and really showcase, to the general public what he's able to do, and in those, especially even in Money in the Bank, as the match drawn, you can tell that Andrade kind of carried that match in certain spots, and it was very cool to see that.
I feel like AEW is kind of what AEW does. It's a lot of it's match oriented, right? With this lucha style they're having, they know we need these type of matches to kind of keep, I guess, fans like us entertained, because we're gonna see Penta and Andrade, we're gonna see Viking just do. Even Dominic Mysterio did the way he in Chad Gable. Even Chad have been adjusting to the style in a way that's like, man, it's a pinnacle stuff. I think it's some of the best stuff of their career.
I think part of it too is the amalgamation of that WWE kind of less is more. Let's tell the story. Let's sell, that kind of thing, with the spots that you want to see in a lucha match that are starting to come through, and now that's putting kind of together, and you're really starting to see the product of something that's really good coming together.
I love seeing Chad Gable's. The highlight of the day was, or that match was probably Chad Gable's heel work. He's doing. I really feel like it's connected to the fans to the point where you hate him. It's probably not a Dominic Mysterio level, but it's to the point where the fans can interact and they know that they need to react to this guy. We hate him. We don't want him to succeed. And American Made another staple that he's leading, and I really enjoy that. It's a heel thing to do.
But even that whole Gran Americano, as much as he's trying to build heat on himself, as much as he's trying to, create that divide within the audience, we're loving it. You know,
Yeah, no,
it's getting over.
100%. And then this whole mysterious thing of him not being
Going to break on him.
yeah, from the Gulf of America is hilarious. I think I can't believe they're running with that right now. I think it's amazing him that he's pulling that off. He's, shout out to Chad Gable, man. If there was an MVP from this weekend, he could be definitely in the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
He ran it Friday, ran it 2 times on Saturday, and I think he ran it Monday as well.
Yeah.
So it's shout out to Chad Gable. He was definitely a highlight on Friday, and I think another highlight was just Seth Rollins. How in his group, like I don't know what they're calling themselves yet, but it was nice. Yeah, did he appear 3 times? But you know what? He made a point to show like I'm here to take it, and he's gonna walk over everybody in this Money in the Bank match.
The whole face off between the Solo Sikoa bloodline and Seth's group. I had a friend that was telling me, he's like, oh, we should call them the Seth Riders.
Wow, that'd be nice. I was thinking the Vision would be nice too. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's been taken. I've heard him say the Vision a few times. The Vision would be nice.
Mm-hmm. But that whole, they keep teasing us with Braun versus Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu.
Definitely.
I think this is the second time they teased it now. And I remember I was texting you as the show started off. I was like, man, if they finally pull the trigger on this tonight in Bakersfield and I didn't go to it, I'm going to be so upset with myself.
For sure. Jacob and Solo Sikoa is another one we could talk about too. I guess we agree on that. We agree on the first 2 things, but I guess the third bonus one would be Solo Sikoa's worker. That was hilarious. It's not he is a heel, but it's kind of the cosplay he's doing right now. This is comedian heel is amazing. I didn't think I'll ever see that from him. He's growing as a character. That's what it is in WWE. You got to be entertaining, and he's definitely entertaining.
He was kind of held in that whole enforcer kind of strong silent type or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he's out there, he's doing the dances, he's emoting, he's doing that kind of stuff now. It's
Definitely.
good to see.
You know who, another highlight of the night, and we're going to Money in the Bank. Rhea Ripley is just a star among stars.
Oh, man.
There's different. The women's division is very hot right now,
Oh.
but she just takes it to a whole other level. And with her match, that was like the first hot tag I've seen in person. That was really a hot tag, where the roof blew off when she got in the ring and ended that match. What did she have? What do we have here?
I believe it was her and Stephanie.
It was an 8-way. Good. Or it was a 6-way. It was Rhea, Alexa, Stephanie versus Naomi, Roxanne, and Gorilla.
Right.
When Rhea got that hot tag, man, the building, it tore down, dude. She's such a different athlete, and it's crazy how she's still so young.
One of the things I'm really impressed with her too is her ability to sell for a Liv, for Julia, girls that aren't her size, and it's really hard for you as like a casual viewer to say like, hey man, this lady who's like 6'1" and muscular is selling to like these 5'3", petite girls, and Rhea's still making you able to believe like, off that cell, she's taking on those double teams. She's taking, those high body attacks from them and just really putting it over. It's nice to see someone who's willing to do that for their fellow, workers and the things like that.
And I think that's the key of it. Mm-hmm. How are we gonna? You have to be a seller. That's what the greats do. And from the Shawn Michaels to the Flairs to Rhea and to Roman, Brock towards the end, I think Brock became a great seller, and I think that's the evolution, and she knows that, and it's beautiful to see, man. Oh, yeah. It's beautiful to see. The next night, and of course, we'll talk about John Cena right now. I think we'll go match by match. We'll see who we have here. The first match of the night was a women's Ladder in the Bank. I was very impressed again with Rhea, Roxanne, Stephanie, Gorilla, and Naomi. And who else we have here? Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. My first take on that match is everyone did really well. I was really impressed with, the two, Julia and Stephanie. Mm-hmm. You hear the hype. These girls just got over from NXT, and Roxanne included it. And so the three of them are kind of thrown in there with real, again, we said a lot about Rhea, as in terms of where she's coming into her own. Mm-hmm. Naomi's a solid veteran and a great performer who's really put in her work, and Alexa, who's and again another vet who knows her role and plays it well.
And she's on the comeback trail. She's been gone for a while, so they're definitely trying to fit her in.
Yeah, But those three new girls, man, they're very. It amazes me every time. It seems like every time a new crop, a new generation of women come in, like the bar is raised each time.
Definitely.
Since the revolution started.
Definitely. First thing I noticed was there's an outfit match between Roxanne and Steph. Like, did you notice that?
No,
They were wearing the same outfit.
Okay.
I was kind of like, is this an outfit? What is this? Is this a confusion? Again, Rhea Ripley's next level. Stephanie Vacker, dude. We've seen her in AEW a few times, and a couple times in AAA. Dude, such an athlete.
It's impressive the way that, like, I mean, there was no learning curve for her from going from AEW coming over to the WWE style and then that NXT route, and now, like, I'm like, man, she should be a major player now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And once we get the microphone on her a little bit, I think she's going to just take it to the next level because they're working the ring. And I forgot what they call that when she has the opponent's head in the ground. She's ramming it in.
The Devil's Kiss?
The Devil's Kiss. People love it. The people love it. And I'm sure the men love it, but it's a great move. You need a signature move or signature trait, and that's her signature trait. I love what Stephanie's doing.
To her credit, and to, I think, Booker T's credit as well, they both kind of put that move over. I think there was the argument that Charlotte was using it for earlier in her career too.
Okay.
But I think now when you see that move, you automatically assume it with Stephanie. So.
And you know what? Just from the level has been raised with these six. Roxanne, let me see. I think Roxanne Perez, she had a great cutter, bro, and a moonsault on Rhea on the ladder. I thought that was a great move. It was one of those spots. I can't tell you exactly how it built up to it, but there was a moonsault on that ladder, man. It was like, damn, you could tell that. That hurt. That definitely hurt. And again, man, the women's division is stacked right now, and people forget Bliss and Naomi.
Well, not Naomi anymore, right?
Oh, dude, that was. Hey, you know what? I felt that was a great move. It was kind of like a Jey Uso Royal Rumble moment for her. I didn't think she was gonna win. I thought it was gonna be either Roxanne or Alexa, maybe, or if Rhea was probably the biggest, the favorite in that.
And it kind of goes back to a lot of the complaints about Seth Rollins winning the men's version, but I think Rhea doesn't. I don't feel like she needs to win that title. She's probably going to be in the women's, main event scene pretty much whenever they feel like pulling that trigger. Naomi, I think she's paid her dues. She's coming off of her and that whole Jade and Bianca storyline was really great. She's really playing that heel role well. She's very committed to her character, and I think one of the testaments to that is I don't know if you saw the post game show.
She did a great promo, right? I see a little bit of it.
So Big E was giving her flowers, and you can tell Naomi was feeling emotional about it because she was he was talking about her paying her dues, her 16 years in the business, kind of being put on the shelf for these up and comers and stuff
leaving
like that.
Leaving and coming back too. She was a teenager for a while.
For sure, and she can tell that. Big E's words were getting to her, but then she snapped out of it and stayed in character. And I was just like, man, that's a credit to her right there. Oh, yeah. She really is a pro now.
And the last thing I put was love seeing Naomi get the opportunity. And let's see what she could do with it. And hell of a match.
Oh, yeah,
hell of a match.
It's one of those. It's a fresh heel character that's going to mix things up, and either side that she just has to go after on that title.
It would be nice to see. I think they've alluded to this several times, but. The Money in the Bank briefcase is no longer the championship briefcase. It could be anywhere, anytime. And if they want to take another level, they could do that with her and Becky. Somewhere at TNA, possibly NXT. And Naomi's been around. She's one of those people she's been around the last 6-7 months in both organizations, all three, and she could do that. Next match, Dominic versus Octagon Jr. Can't say I'm a Octagon Jr. fan because I'm not familiar with AAA as well as I should be. But I did put here Lucha. Since I was a kid, it's all been about Lucha. And it felt really good to see Lucha still be in the mix.
So I was a big mark growing up for when the original Octagon was wrestling. I remember Sunday mornings because it was beyond like Galavisión back in the day. And me and my cousin would sit there, and I was a big Octagon fan. And so I remember kind of the thing that they showed promos for it and stuff throughout the night, but there was a big feud between Octagon Octagon and Hijo del Santo, and they were teaming against Art Barr and Eddie Guerrero, and like the visual, because Dom's trying to sell that they alluding to my true dad is Eddie kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, definitely.
And so Octagon Jr. and the perceived son of Eddie Guerrero was kind of a cool visual to see. Great match. Both guys were like, I was hoping. I know there's some complaints online about Octagon not getting enough of his stuff in, but I thought it was a solid match, and I think it's something that could be built up to if they wanted to.
Yeah, it was only 5 minutes, but I felt like let me see what I put here. Let's see. Again, Lucha. Ever since I was a kid, like just thinking about the psychosis of the world and the Conans and the Juventud Guerreras. It's really cool to have their. I'm sure that's a Triple H thing, just a company thing. Lucha sells still, bro.
Yeah.
Lucha still sells. We see what Pentagon, Phoenix, and they bring in Triple H and with Octagon Jr. now with the guy Iguana. What's his name?
Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana. Like these things will sell.
He's got to make sure he gives his flowers to Lince Dorado too for putting over that Iguana.
And I did Dominic Mysterio had a mask on in the beginning, right?
Of the match?
Yeah, like in his entrance.
Not that I remember.
What the hell did I put here? Something mask on rope. Oh, so that's tying the mask on at the end when he's tying Octagon's mask on that bottom rope. Genius spot.
So
love that spot.
That's actually a throwback because that used to happen to the original Octagon.
Okay,
too.
I know that. Okay,
so it was probably something I wouldn't say it happened in every match, but every major match he had, there was a spot where that would happen.
Oh, that's I thought that was a genius spot.
Yeah.
That's a callback, genius callback there. Becky Lynch versus Lyra Vaquera. I'll be honest with you, I probably caught maybe the last 5 minutes of it. It was a little long. Again, we're here to do the job, though. It was a all or nothing match. I like it. Last chance match. It's nice to see Becky put over or engage with up and coming talent.
Agreed. I think Becky's trying to put her name and her star power into the IC title a little bit, trying to help establish it and that kind of thing. Definitely. Kudos to her for doing that and for letting Lyra put her over at WrestleMania. I think this was going to be the eventual kind of telling of that story, where Becky was going to kind of go into it. Now she's going to kind of go on her IC title reign and try to establish that as probably the women's worker title.
Yeah, I would say that's exactly what you want the IC title to be. It's a workers title, and who else better to do it than her right now? And she's on a streak. The Rollins are on a streak right now.
Well, and the thing is, like now, man, there's so many decent workers in that women's division now, so it can be all over the place. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how they do that, because Becky's character kind of can be a little bit of everything that she wants to be, and it'll be a decent story.
One thing I noticed about this card too, there was missing some top stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a great freaking card. There wasn't no Braun. There wasn't a Jacob Fatu in there. Yeah, they engaged with stars in there. There wasn't a CM Punk match. There wasn't Roman Reigns here. Wasn't a legend, I guess. Well, John Cena counts, but there wasn't some comeback where we're having a feel good moment. This is just they have enough stars to carry them right now, and that's something that they didn't have the last couple of years or before this Triple H, I guess, era came through. It was top heavy, and it's nice to see it balanced out, I think.
And you know what? The other thing too is we're lucky because they have they're producing so much content now with all the PLEs and then the Saturday Night Main Events and things like that. So we're starting to kind of get our fill of who needs to be in what role, and now who's going to get exposure and that kind of thing.
Definitely. Man, the content, before we go on to the next one, the content has been crazy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Have you been watching the WWE Vault on YouTube?
No,
look it up.
Okay.
It's an actual subscription from WWE. It's called WWE Vault.
I know they pump up old matches or matches that were kind of slept
Dude,
on.
they do a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Okay.
Let me show you real fast. I don't think I can play volume on here, but let me see here. Let me see. So WWE Vault is basically just a bunch of I don't know who runs it, but it's WWE just has a team on, and bro, they have 2.27 million subscribers. They drop so much good stuff, like the quick bangers, that dark matches, and let me see what else they got here.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm seeing a lot of like
these old the home videos of Batista, I Walk Alone. The Lakers coming on Raw. A lot of WWE superstar stuff, dude. AAA ECW crossover match, unseen before. Rey Mysterio, Kaiju Sabu, invade AAA. Like this stuff, there's a lot of stuff I've never seen before. Forgotten ladder matches. It's not bad, man. There's like a lot of untold Rodzilla runs wild. I'd never seen that before. I guess they did like limited drops of this, and it's like you'll see a lot of old Andre stuff that they're dropping. Unseen Earthquake dark matches. It's man, dude. There's this Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper. I was just watching this the other night. It's crazy how big they were, like with the fans, like how over they were.
Is that versus Flair and is it perfect?
Sid Vicious.
Sid Vicious.
Sid Vicious. Yeah. And yeah, you gotta check that. I will send it to you. This is it's been really cool to see. It's been kind of like CM Punk's first televised matches and just stuff we don't see a lot, man. Just stuff that they used to put on Superstars and house shows, and they have a vault, and it's beautiful to see.
Okay.
What was beautiful to see too as well was the men's Money in the Bank match. We had, which is I was surprised it wasn't the main event, but I get now why it wasn't the main event. Who was our participants here?
It was Gran Americano.
Grande Americano.
Penta, Andrade, Seth Rollins, Solo, and LA Knight.
LA Knight, who's a star.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's another star that they're carrying. Let's see. Let me see. Did I put any? I'm going off the notes now, so off of my head. Love the match. Again, Andrade, there's a couple spots there. Man, beautiful. I'm not trying to skip ahead, but that little Knight and El Grande Americano when he shot him into that ladder, that was a great spot. That was probably that was one of the spots of the night for me.
Oh man, the Mexican Destroyer.
Oh yeah.
From one ladder on top of the other ladder. That was pretty impressive.
Love seeing Jacob Fatu, I Hate You, the solo. That's been building for some time now.
You're wondering where that payoff was going to come. It was cool to see.
100%. Seth Rollins, man, he's on fire right now.
Yeah.
What can we say?
The storyline, the momentum behind Seth is there. The only thing I'd say is kind of what we said. Like if they need to put Seth in that main event title hunt picture, he can go any number of ways. But it's kind of interesting to see that they went this way with it. But again, I think it adds an interesting dynamic to the rest of the card now because now that Seth has a title, he's the ultimate heist guy. So
and he's in control of it. And his last Money in the Bank cash-in was probably one of the greatest of all time.
Oh yeah, but he's already has heat with Roman and with Cody and with CM Punk. So if when any of these guys that take the title off of Cena, that's going to be something that I expect to see right away.
And then I see the Seth and CM Punk dynamic still playing a factor when we have this, which we'll talk about later, that Cena Punk match and the Night of Champions. And when you have that Paul Heyman rocket on you too, it's kind of hard not to. You're a top guy. He brings that validation.
It's really hard to argue against anybody that's backed by Paul Heyman.
100%. I really love seeing again American Grande do such entertaining character, man. Chad Gable was probably he's one of my favorites right now. Just his work. Again, the way Penta is. One thing I think people knocked on Penta for a long time was his selling. Nigga, like what he's doing right now is great stuff. The way he's reacted to a lot of the.
I think it works in his favor because he was so and I remember when AEW he was just so on and spot after spot after spot.
Yes, sir.
Now he's kind of taking the time to let something marinate, kind of sell it,
yes, sir.
recover a little bit, and go into and work in his next spot.
Yes, sir.
My favorite thing from that match was the commentary. Wade Barrett just deflecting Grand Americano as Chad Gable was awesome.
Him and Cole really doing a good job of saying like, no, you're wrong. This is not him. Just Cole calling out the trunk or the boots and the way he wraps
his arm.
Yeah, he tapes himself. No, I think that's what's missing right now too. Just that heel and face dynamic with the commentary team. And it's awesome. I really love seeing it. I think what's been the talk of the town lately before Monday Night Raw was that main event when we had Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. Man, talk about electric. The match was great.
Yep.
I love the match. Always love. I'm a Cody guy. You know that. I always love seeing Cody. I love seeing Jay. Logan Paul, man, that moonsault onto the table What the hell? Wow. Wow.
As much as people want to give the negativity to Logan, he is capable of doing things that in that ring, in and out of that ring, I should say, because not all his big moves come inside the ring. He's able to do things in there that are just impressive that you don't see after years of watching wrestling. And on top of that, if he's doing something, if he's lifting something for somebody else, he tends to do it just as clean, if not better. Now, I mean, he tried the buckshot lariat, and it kind of slipped a little bit, but
Hey man, it's like they say, it's live TV. I can accept that. John Cena's working the way he needs to work too. I feel like it's gonna be him. He's not gonna give anything more. He's not gonna give anything less. He's telling a great story in that ring every time. The 18 dates he has left. I really love where he's going with it.
I mean, you forget. I mean, you go back to the days when John was rapping and all the thought he put into his lines and things like that. Mm-hmm. Now he's putting that energy into just promos, and you can tell like he's just really doing a great job of selling the character that he wants and trying to get the audience to think a certain way. Definitely. Teasing the audience with when they say thank you John at the end, and he kind of like tries to acknowledge it but not.
Yeah, definitely. Bakersfield game was a good one at the end of the night. Yeah, it was nice.
I caught that on social media, and I was like, man, was this your intent?
Yeah.
And you can see that pause of that, like,
it just
got to him, and then he
just walked. So at the end of this match, we see someone come in the ring.
Man.
And hooded figure. Who would have thought? Well, I'm not. I guess what surprises us now in wrestling, right? R-Truth comes out, hits Cena, gives him the loss, and he's back. What the hell is going on? Who would have thought? Well, my boy Donis, believe it or not, called it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he called it in a different storyline, but it basically was Truth's going to come back. We're just being worked. And I didn't think so.
The thing about that was, first it was Truth, then Carlito went, and it kind of lent credibility to the idea, like, man, these guys that are kind of older and they're not really utilizing as much.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes sense that the new corporation's kind of like streamlining it for the future and that kind of thing. So it helped me buy into that idea of like, okay, well, Truth was it is what it is.
We got him a good run with Cena Saturday Night Live. That was the highlight of his career, or highlight of his year.
And the fact that I don't know if it was Triple H or the board or what, they kind of saw the IWC again come through.
Outpour of love, dude. Who would have thought?
And just made that call, like, put him back in.
And you see that even in the Smackdown promo, we're screaming, we want Truth, and Cena just, you can't handle the truth. Like, we are the truth. Like, that was, right. And then seeing him come out, man, and now that we know it's going to be Ron Killings.
Yeah.
And if we, we love wrestling, man, that TNA Ron Killings was taken very seriously. Oh, yeah. And he had a great run as the NWA champion. And if this is going to be the run we get with him, we just added another spice to the dessert right now we have with WWE, dude. It's awesome. What do you think they can go with that?
Man, Ron's got it'll be interesting to see, because I think honestly my initial reaction is, man, if he wants to like just go back and get his leg back on the Judgment Day, you know what I mean? Because the Judgment Day has all this eternal turmoil going on. I think Ron can really like play on that and really just disrupt things and just get the crowd kind of into it and feed into it. So
it would be nice to see him go against types of the Bronson Reeds of the world too. Maybe not those top guys, but right. Just kind of intersect with this whole with Heyman's group, with Rollins' group.
It would also be an interesting pairing, kind of based off of IWC interactions and backing and stuff like that. Ron and Karrion Kross.
Oh yeah.
With that same kind of like idea of like they're manipulating things backstage. They're kind of like.
It's crazy how this Karrion's another one where are the voices going to be heard because the people love him. Mm-hmm. The people he's over, and who would have thought the last house show, a couple of house shows ago, maybe 4 or 5 years, when he came back, he was not really anything, and he changed his look, learned a new move, and now he's one of the top merch sellers in the business. And
I think back to that promo that Adam Cole ripped on him about, they put everything behind you and they try to, build up your gimmick and everything like that. And it's interesting now because he has none of that, and they put even less into him now. He's going out on his own to try and create his own, get himself over in his own kind of way, kind of similar to like a Zack Ryder did back in the day, like turn to the internet and that kind of thing. It's working, man. People are buying into it. People want to see more of this guy.
Remember that Talking Smack, Miz, Daniel Bryan confrontation?
Oh, yeah.
Him, those promos that he's doing, carrying across, is kind of reminding me of that. It's
Yeah.
kind of, there is a blurred line there, but I'm sure he does feel a type of way of why can I get more than 5 minutes on TV? And he's on WrestleMania for 2 minutes with AJ, and I think I'm a believer, man. I'm always in for someone new and someone kind of the underdog.
I don't think we've seen a fraction of what Karrion can do.
After
giving the ball on the run a little bit.
He was he the NXT champion for a while?
He was, but I think again he got the legs got cut underneath him. I think that was kind of AEW started kind of becoming a thing at the time. They had their Wednesday Night Wars or whatever.
And that's when he kind of got pushed to this roster, and they took away his
AEW kind of won that war for a little bit, and everybody was like, "Well, what? Let's revamp this."
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of fell victim to that.
No, and again, we got a new look, got a new way to go. I think he'll do fine. Raw. Let's see here. This is 2 nights ago. We finally watched it, and I'm trying to. It's so hard. And dude, we're doing the job, but it's kind of hard to watch 9 hours of wrestling, even with the fast forward button, bro. It's like, damn. And just doing what we're doing at home, and it's like it's a lot, man. I think it's a lot.
I don't think I've caught a live Raw in months.
No, it's even with Netflix and. I'm gonna have to get YouTube TV, man. If we're gonna do this weekly, talk about because I don't have. There's no way to watch USA without YouTube or my Fire Stick, and I'm just never home to watch a live Fire Stick.
Sure.
It's
it's always on my DVR, Smackdown, and even AEW, the Dynamites.
I would say on the Raw, Cena opening up his promo makes it feel like a shoot. What he's saying right now to the fans and just. It's a shoot. I think it's like everything he's ever wanted to say. As he was the face of the company, and now he could really say how he really feels. But blurring the lines again feels like a shoot to me, and I love it.
It's funny because he's organically winning the crowd over based off of his work, which is what I think he's always wanted.
Yeah.
But this kind of heel persona really allows him to do that.
And he's a great one. I think he knows how to do that. He knows how to keep him in the palm of his hands. He's a pro. I don't think he's ever been able to show this side of it. I love the black and white John Cena entrance. Like, I was honestly when he did this heel turn, I was thinking of Hogan-esque, beard, change of the wardrobe. But no, it's just been the entrance, and it's still the same. But
I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be who I was before this. I'm not gonna change because you want me to. That's I mean. The mentality behind that was so that's perfect. I don't know why we thought he should,
And just I raised your kids, and you guys are liars, and you guys perfect. Again, spot on. CM Punk, who would have thought this man would have been the voice of reason and sticking up for the company and doing what he said? Like, I was the voice of the voiceless, but I'm not here. I'm here to represent the people. That wasn't the fact. That wasn't the case a couple years ago when he walked out, and it's great to see.
The antithesis of their match, of their whole feud from 13 years ago, or whatever, where, John's the company guy and fighting for the audience. Now it's so flipped. It's hilarious.
Yeah, man. And just seeing CM Punk, like, he hasn't had the title run yet. Is this when they switch the title? And just what we've seen from this night, they're not shy to switch the title, and it's what's the chase going to look like? What's Cody have to do? Where's Cody going to factor into all this? And
and again, you got Seth.
And we got Roman too, winning the ring. Roman wants some of that John Cena love too. Who doesn't want the rub from Cena on the way out? Because I believe this is going to be it.
Yeah.
It's cool to see him when Cena listing all the cities, and he lists Bakersfield, one of his stops. Like, this is the last run. So.
It really was impressive that we did get they didn't waste a Cena night on
definitely
got that.
Next up, we had a great TV match with, again, MVP of the weekend, man, Chad Gable and AJ Styles. Chad is...
How can those two not have a great match?
God, dude, Chad, the way he tosses these guys around, the way he sells, the way he's a professional in he's one of my favorite wrestlers, dude. There's no way, how can you not be a fan of what he's been doing? MVP of the weekend, in my opinion.
Again, man, it's just, it's so funny, but it's right now he's mid-card Kurt Angle, you know what I'm saying? Like he's doing exactly the same thing. He's taking it to it well. He's incorporating his wrestling background and really putting on solid matches. His personality's shining through a little bit.
Yes,
So now we get to see that charisma that he has, and it's the crowd's kind of winning over. He can go heel, he can go face, he can go silly, he can go serious, and it's just like man, this guy's really they just really need to start pulling the trigger on this guy and letting him.
El Grande de Americano, who's the USA champion right now?
USA champion, I believe is.
I know. Is it Fatu?
No, it's it was Nakamura. No, it was LA Knight, then Nakamura. Then it's.
Oh, Dominic Mysterio, duh. We just talked about it. Dom. Okay, so who is Fatu the USA? Yeah, Fatu's the US champion. El Grande de Americano versus Fatu wouldn't be bad. That one I want to see right now, but it has potential.
I can see that.
It has potential.
I want to see Jacob kind of play through his. I think he's got a list before he has to work there. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Him and he's got to go through Jacob. Him and what do they call him? JC Mateo.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, we need to talk about that too, dude.
They got to start using that guy, man. Again, if you didn't watch Lucha Underground, he was Matanza Cueto, no relation.
No relation at all.
And he was rolling dudes, and it was just impressive to see a monster on that level.
He was a dude. I did not. The only reason I didn't think it was Cobb because Matanza looked 6'7", 6'8". I don't know if that's the way they filmed it, the way they were the angle, but that guy looked like a beast.
Oh yeah.
And again, little Taz.
Yeah.
Just the way and I feel like they're kind of, again, that WWE style, kind of this, it's safety first always, right? But he could, that brief AEW, which that's when I kind of noticed, okay, this way AEW's going to book this shit, is they have him a month and he's gone. He didn't come back for another 2 years. That AEW run was I love Cobb's work. And I follow him on Twitter, and I'll tweet out, I thought he'll be in the Heyman group. That's what I thought. But see, again, Bronson Reed, him really similar. But yeah, Mateo's going to be someone I know they have to build him up, but I didn't know he was 42 years old either, though. Another thing, they're catching these guys, which I'm glad they're on TV, but man, they missed that Lucha Underground Prime shit, dude.
But man, it was. But even again, at 42, that guy works and moves well. Truth is another guy. He's in his 50s and he still works and moves well.
Yeah, definitely. Man, Cena's the same age as Hogan right now when he had his first run in NWO.
That's wild.
That is wild, right? Yeah. And then, man, imagine and Bret Hart wasn't old when he went to WCW, if you think about it. He was damn near maybe 38, 39. Yeah. He still had some years left. Look at AJ. But yeah, I think JC Mateo, he's definitely a good addition. Where they go with this whole thing, we have multiple interpretations of the tribal of the
bloodline.
The bloodline, right? Where do we go now? And it's gonna be real interesting. Again, I really loved what they're doing with Chad and AJ. Really enjoy Roxanne Perez's work. What was the match? She won. What was the match though? I should know.
It was the Queen of the Ring qualifier.
Oh, that's what
it was. Her, Rhea. Oh God, I forget who else was in that match.
Let me see. What's today? June. Sorry, people. I should have.
It was her, Rhea, Liv, and Io Sky. Oh no, Kairi Singh.
And it's gonna be. We have what's it called? I'm sorry, the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments.
Right.
I'm a fan of it. I love the 4-way match. Is gonna be. It's all fatal 4-way. Roxanne Perez getting the dub. Well, she did, right? Did she get the dub?
It was good because it was it's going to help. It did so much for her. She won this match against quality veterans. She's establishing herself on the main roster now, and it's adding to this sub storyline between her and Liv in the Judgment Day. So it's all. It was perfect win for that situation.
And we see that Bailey's back.
Man,
Bailey coming. I think I put that here. Yeah.
Her and Becky going back at it.
Lynch promo. Bailey's back. Another one who I think Becky Lynch kind of ruined. I guess storyline wise, she attacked Bailey, ruined her WrestleMania chances, took out the card. Love the continuing that story. I think that's gonna be something really nice. We had R-Truth promo where the man cuts his hair.
Starting to see that other side of R-Truth here.
And that's what I think that if they're gonna push Ron Killings, that's
for sure.
That's what we need. K-Quick was the man, bro.
Oh yeah.
People forget when he went to TNA, he was the man.
He NWA champion.
And he was with Road Dogg, I believe, at the time too. So if they give him a serious run, I think he'll be fine, even at 52 years old. Let's see here. What did I say here? Never thought. Man, I must have fell asleep right there. But we have Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio. Sami pulls it off. What a great match.
I'm not even mad. Again, the little kind of side things of that match, man. Dom and Braun going at it, and just like think to yourself, like, man, these kids are only, what?
It's the next generation.
Man, they're going to be able to run that back for the next 12 years easy.
And LA Knight coming in and taking out Breaker.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna be involved with this Seth Rollins group, and Sami Zayn, dude. Sami Zayn, can he get to the top?
Can he get to the top? I'm almost wondering if they're, Sammy's kind of in a world of betrayal. So I'm trying to wondering if, like, are they going to keep him face? Are they going to turn him? It'll be interesting to see where he goes. But him and Jay kind of been cool for a long time now. I wonder if they're going to tease that relationship kind of falling apart here.
And eventually everybody turns on everybody, right?
Yeah.
So right now, if there was a four-way match, it would be Rhodes, Jay, Sammy, and LA Knight versus Seth, Braun.
Bronson and...
so that's the third guy, yeah. Those three. So, no, that's a good feud. I think that's going to be... The next pay-per-view in what? 17 days. Man, these PLEs, dude. It's crazy. We're gonna have another...
Be busy.
Card by card, yeah. We'll definitely be busy. And another thing that the world's talking about, another wrestling world, Gunther defeats Jey Uso. And...
it's the right call. I think... Jay was getting hot. They decided to pull the trigger on him and see how that would go. I think the company got a good feed on how his title run is. It wasn't anything. Was anything groundbreaking? No, but did it still progress the storylines and feed into what we wanted to see as a company? Yes. He was a good quality face champion, but I don't think Gunther's the guy that needs to be dropping the title very much.
No, and the chase is always fun.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see Gunther out there. What I love, too, is, man, they got the end of this match. It wasn't on some interference. It wasn't on some ticky-tack call.
No.
Putting people to sleep.
No, it was definitely...
That's an old school, was drag it out. And there's no dispute. The man won. He is the better man, and Gunther is what he portrays to be. And I love seeing a heel character like that, man. Yeah. And we have two heel champions.
You forget,
right now.
but you forget because you watch him and you think to yourself like, he's a heel, that kind of thing. But you got to understand he's also one of the best wrestlers on the planet right now.
Yes, and his work is you won't see him doing backflips, anything off the ropes, but it's that old school. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna pick a body. I'm gonna find a body part. Like with Jay was his ribs. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna find a body part. I'm gonna work on it, and I want to get the win no matter what. And if I lose, I'm gonna keep playing back until I get what I want. Mm-hmm. I think that's gonna be a great story to be told. Man, that was a lot of wrestling in 47 minutes, bro. Again, I think this is something we should continue doing. Oh, yeah. Doing the Job podcast. Do you want to decide what classic match we watch in between once in a while? I mean, by the way, while we think about this, keep grinding the podcast 661. Following on Instagram. It's going to be on the same RSS as Keep Grinding the Podcast. This is going to be 151. You're going to find it all in here. What's your favorite match?
Man, all time?
I guess I could go stereotype me or just cliche. It's always going to be 13's Austin and Hart. But we could watch along something that's not.
We could. Hall of Fame match right there.
We could probably start with that next time. Maybe next week we kind of go over just two things on each card, mm-hmm. and we'll go over a classic match, and we'll keep it under an hour. I think that'll be the way to go. Yeah. Ernie Contreras, Arnold Cueto. This is Doing the Job 151. Keep grinding the podcast, sir. Appreciate you. And we're putting over wrestling that we love, and we out.